All right, everybody. Surprise, surprise. Hi there. It's Carson. How are you doing? Carson Meredith with you on this Friday, February 27th. So we're almost done with February already. Time flies. Brian is off today. He's taking a long weekend, so you're stuck with me. Plenty to talk about. The weekend looks decent. Enjoy it, because next week and really the first half of March is looking rather active. So that is the big headline that we have as we go through the next couple of weeks. But for now, as we get you outside, live look at the airport, still kind of a haze out there. A lot of you dealt with some dense fog this morning. Didn't cause any major problems, but it was definitely kind of a soupy start this morning. And there's still a bit of a haze, especially around the airport at this point. But by and large, that fog is starting to lift, and that's going to set the stage for a beautiful Friday. Really a nice couple of days ahead. Spring-like, another false spring. Emphasize false. 41's our current temperature. We've got tons of sunshine. You don't need me to tell you that. Most of you are now into the 40s, still holding on to the 30s further south, where that fog was not only a little more widespread, but also a little more dense. So it's still 37 down in Mumfordville, 39 in Lebanon. But we will all be surging well into the 60s this afternoon. We got 65 for a high today here in the city. Most of you in the mid 60s. We may hold on to right around 60 for places like Shelbyville, LaGrange, Madison. But all in all, a really, really, really nice day lies ahead. And the weekend looks good too. Tomorrow looks phenomenal, even better than today. Lots of sun, bright blue skies for most of the day. 68 is our high tomorrow. And you guys know, with the southerly wind, that could easily overachieve. So there's an outside chance that we could get close to 70 by Saturday afternoon. Outside chance. Most of you will be in the upper 60s. Now, Saturday night, we've got a quick little system scooting through. Basically a clipper, but you know, for all intents and purposes, it's a front. And as it slides through, it could give us some drizzle Saturday night, sprinkles, maybe a couple flakes, no big deal. But you're really going to notice the effects of that Saturday night system on Sunday. We'll have more clouds around, maybe not a completely overcast day, but more of a filtered sunshine with more clouds. And it's going to be cooler. A lot of you will be stuck in the 40s on Sunday. Here in Louisville for now, we'll go with that high of 50 Sunday afternoon. But it'll be noticeably cooler because this initial little system that you see here on Futurecast, this is 9 o'clock tomorrow night. There's not much moisture with it. You're going to see more clouds, especially right around sunset tomorrow night. And those clouds will keep streaming in as the night goes on. But again, there's just not a ton of moisture with it. You see maybe a couple showers here or there, really drizzle more than anything else. You notice up here at the tippy top of the map, like way above the banner here, up along I-70, they could have a quick little burst of snow. And again, I can't rule out maybe a few flurries in our northern tier. In Indiana, that's about it. So this is no big deal Saturday night into Sunday morning as it's moving through. But it's going to be cooler on Sunday. And the big question then becomes, what kind of cold air are we going to be working with as we head into Sunday night and Monday morning? Next big weather maker still on track for that time frame, Monday morning especially. We're going to see some sort of a wintry mix, but how deep and how impactful that wintry mix is going to depend on what kind of cold air we have left behind. The less cold air we have, the more rain we'll see. Not much of a mix, but if we still got that cold air holding on, then a few of you could have some trouble Monday morning. Right now, I still think the area of greatest concern is north of I-64 Monday morning. It's going to be a very similar setup to what we saw yesterday morning, where you might have a quick little mix or light snow, and then it goes to all rain, and we warm up, and it starts to melt off pretty quickly. But obviously, that timing for Monday morning could cause some issues for the rush. So there's the general picture with this setup for Monday morning. Long story short, if that cold air is still holding on, we'll have more of a wintry mix. If that cold air is really not here anymore, it's just kind of walking out the door, it's got one foot out the door, then we're not going to see as much of a mix. And again, it's really an issue for the northern half of wave country. Southern Indiana especially. This is where I think we'll have the highest concern for light snow, like just north of 64. Here in Louisville, we could get a mix. Raindrops, freezing raindrops potentially, and maybe a little snow. But the further south you go, I mean, down towards E-Town, Campbellsville, Lebanon, you guys are just going to see mainly rain out of this. And it's a quick hitting system. So as we go later into the afternoon, I should say the wintry component is quick hitting. As we go later into the day on Monday, we'll still have precipitation, but it's going to be rain. So the wintry concern is not going to be all day. It's only going to be for a few hours, but the problem is those few hours where we could have trouble is during the morning rush. Not ready to go with an alert date just yet. Because what's working also in our favor, if we do see snow or a mix Monday morning, is we'll have fairly warm ground temperatures. I mean, we're heading for the 60s today. We'll be getting close to 70 tomorrow. We'll still be way above freezing on Sunday. It'll just be cooler. So the ground will warm back up. And that's what allowed the snow to melt so quickly yesterday afternoon. Something similar could happen tomorrow, where you get a quick little, maybe a light accumulation, and then by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's all gone. It's just the timing that we need to keep an eye on as we head towards Monday. We don't have a snowfall map just yet, and I really don't want to show you any specific futurecast models right now, because there's still a lot of questions as to how far south that wintry mix might go, or how far north it stays. I want to look over a little more data today before we really start to nail down any potential accumulations or things of that nature. So later on this evening, or perhaps sometime tomorrow, we'll get more hard set futurecast models and potential accumulation maps for you if we need them. And that's not a guarantee. But Monday's setup is the beginning of what's going to be a pretty active couple of weeks, not just here at home, but across the heartland. Generally speaking, you're just going to have low after low after low make the southwest to northeast track, mainly to our west. And what that means for us is basically daily chances for rain. Is every day a total washout over the next couple of weeks? No. Could we have chances for rain in the forecast every single day the next couple of weeks? Yeah, it's possible. In fact, you're going to see on the 10-day in a minute, tomorrow is the last totally dry day in our forecast for a while. So it's going to be a very unsettled setup. For us, it looks to be periods of rain with some storms in the mix from time to time. I don't think the severe setup, the severe storm setup is all that favorable for us right now. I think the greater severe concern will be to our west, but we will have thunderstorms to track from time to time. It all comes down to where these fronts set up. So as we go through the day on Monday, you're going to have a frontal boundary stall out right on top of us. And that's just going to be like a fire hose of rain that just rides along that front into Monday afternoon, into Tuesday, probably into Wednesday. Then the question becomes towards the end of next week, does that stalled front lift north? Does that mean we can dry out? But if that front also lifts north, we're going to be in the warm sector. So does that mean could we get any thunderstorms off to the west to try to slide in? And it's just really hard at this stage of the game to figure out where that front's going to stall and when does it lift north. When does the cold front to our west try to approach closer? Where does it stall? It's going to be a cat and mouse game over the next couple of weeks with these fronts nearby. Where they stall, when do they move away? When do they come back? And that's just a huge, huge puzzle that you have to go day by day to get really specific on those kind of rain chances. So that's why when you see the 10-day in a minute, it's just going to be a blanket chance for showers and storms across the board. So here's Monday morning. I mentioned with that wintry potential would mainly be north of 64, but it would not be all day. It would just be Monday morning, which we'd obviously have to watch for the morning commute. We go into Monday afternoon, and you can see this boundary just stalled out, basically between I-64 and I-70. So between Louisville and Indy. And you're just going to have wave after wave after wave after wave after wave right along this front next week. So here's Monday night. There's Tuesday. There's Wednesday. You get the idea. Now, this is the European model. And by Thursday, the European wants to drift that stalled front a tiny bit to the north, which may allow for a tiny reprieve. But I mean, again, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on it because it's just in this kind of an active setup, it's really hard 6 or 7 days out to nail down exactly which days look wetter, which days might have a little more dry time. But you're also going to have basically cold fronts that try to get here from time to time, but are they going to be able to? So that's why I think not only the flooding concern is higher to our west, I also think the storm threat is higher to our west, but we'll still get attacks of heavier rain and storms from time to time over the next couple of weeks. So there's next Friday, into the following weekend, maybe another front comes in around the 7th or 8th. That one might need to be watched for severe potential, depending on the timing. So next weekend, of course, on a weekend, that might be something we need to keep an eye on when it comes to a severe storm component, as opposed to just rain. It's just too early for specifics. But we put this map out yesterday from the Climate Prediction Center. This is their heavy precipitation outlook over the next couple of weeks. And not only does it have the Ozarks, the Mississippi River Valley, and the Ohio Valley in that higher risk for heavy rain, it also pinpoints Arkansas, southern Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and western Kentucky in a higher flood risk, which makes sense. You know, if the two fronts are nearby us and you've just got wave after wave after wave of rain go riding along those fronts, of course you're going to have a higher flooding concern. What kind of flooding? I would think it would be mainly river flooding at this point. But again, if you get repeated rounds of the widespread heavier rain, that'll become a flash flooding issue too, especially towards that second week of March. But wait, there's more. You've got snow melt from the northeast that's going to be going downstream, which is going to allow those river levels to climb a little bit over the next couple of weeks as well. So this is a setup we need to watch closely when it comes to flooding for this first half of March, really. Looking at the long-term stuff, I don't think we get much of a break until maybe mid-March, like the 14th or 15th. So yeah, pretty busy setup ahead, especially on that heavy rain and flooding side of it. Here comes the 10-day, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Today's dry, tomorrow's dry, and then it's on. Every single day we've got a chance for showers, and a couple of days here or there we'll have a chance for storms. But we're going to be very cautious with how we adjust these precipitation chances day by day, these rain chances especially. Monday's obviously a higher chance with that mix in the morning and then rain through the afternoon. We're pretty confident Tuesday's going to be wet, especially in Indiana where that front stalled out. So that's why you see a higher chance then. Wednesday onward, we're still just trying to figure out where the fronts are going to be. So that's why you see lower chances towards then. But just know after tomorrow, we're going to have rain chances basically every single day until mid-March. Some days will be drier than others, but it's going to be very, very damp over the next couple of weeks. So enjoy the sunshine today and tomorrow is basically what I'm trying to say. Let's see what comments we got. Who's here? I would imagine the usual suspects. Hi, Blue. Hello. Tina, how we doing? Hello, Sean. In Baghdad this morning. Baghdad, Kentucky. Out there in Shelby County. Ann's here. Hello. Hi, Shonda. How we doing up in Jeff? Kevin, hello. Crispy, what's up? How we doing? Brad, good morning. Nikki got the good idea. Soak up as much sun as possible the next couple of days. Hi, Joel, Braden, Jason, all's good here. Hope same for you. ZK, hello, hello. Kathy doesn't want any more snow up there in Trimble County. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. That was an overachiever yesterday morning. You had these heavy snowfall rates that dropped those temperatures quickly, dynamic cooling. And that allowed for a nice little coating up in our far northern counties yesterday. Something like that could happen on Monday as well. That's kind of why I said it's a similar looking idea. Monday morning, similar to what we had Thursday. It's just that timing during the morning commute is what is the biggest concern, really. Hope that makes sense. ZK, you can see the weekend there on the 10-day. Saturday looks great. Sunday looks fine. It just won't look as great as Saturday. Saturday's the pick of the weekend, but if you got any plans Sunday, it's just going to be cooler and a little more cloudy. That's it. During the day, at least. Sunday night is when things get a little interesting. Hello, Wizard. How we doing? Jason, hello down in Cloverport. Hi, Cameron. How we doing? Aaron, rain and warm. Yeah, it's not going to be a huge deal. I do agree with that. We'll just have to make sure that these rivers don't start to get out of their banks over the next couple of weeks. And we'll just have to make sure that these storms don't get too frisky over the next couple of weeks. I still think the higher severe storm threat is to our west, but it'll probably be one of those situations that always happens where you've got severe weather happening to our west during the daytime hours. And as those storms try to move into our area later in the night, it's a question of, do they weaken? Do they hold on? You guys know the drill. Happens every spring. So if we're going to see severe weather, that's kind of how I think it would play out. And again, we just got to nail down which days might be more stormy than just plain wet. Lots of adjustments coming, so stay with us for those. Yes, Cameron, we did see the massive snowstorm coming on February 30th. That's a joke, friends. It's a good joke, Cameron. February flew by, didn't it? Hi, Adam. How we doing up there in Bloomington? Hope all's good. Let's see. Good question, Adam. What is the drought status? Let me pop that up real quick because I was actually looking at that this morning, and I forgot to put it in my show here. So you see southern Indiana is abnormally dry, which is the lowest level of drought you could have, but still dry, which is a little surprising, especially given the snow melt we've had. But by the same token, we haven't had a huge amount of rain lately. So it's understandable. I got a feeling over the next couple of weeks, this drought map will improve substantially. It's not bad right now. I mean, if you're in Kentucky, you're not in a drought. Our part of Kentucky, but we'll have plenty of opportunities to get out of this early onset drought over the next couple of weeks, no doubt. There's a usual suspect. Hi, Gary. Hope you're well. Let's see. Hello, Weather Geek. How we doing? Good question, Todd. Is it possible 80s are still on the horizon? I don't see any 80s with this warm up coming next week, mainly because of all the rain chances we have. Low 70s, you bet. Mid 70s, very possible. 80, I don't know. I don't know, at least next week. I don't see it next week. Maybe towards that second week of March when we're kind of waiting on the front that's going to move through that puts an end to that wet pattern. Maybe. But usually when we're talking about 80s in March, that means storm trouble. So that'll be the trade-off with that. So right now, next 10 days, I don't see 80s. Maybe that second week of March. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Adam, that snow you guys got up in Bloomington yesterday was gone by noon. And I think it'll be a very similar setup Monday morning. Light accumulations, possibly in southern Indiana, or northern Indiana counties. So like Lawrence, Jackson, Jennings, Jefferson, Indiana. Maybe a little 1, perhaps 2-inch snowfall total. Again, we're not ready for a map just yet. It's just that timing during the Monday morning commute is what's going to be a concern. So we're still watching it, no doubt. Let's see. Sean, believe me, that's been on my mind this week. Use your magical powers to protect thunder from flood cancellation again. I guess what's helping this go round is all this heavy rains happening in March. But of course, something could happen in April, right? That's what happened last year. So we'll see. I mean, trust me, I've thought about that yesterday, thinking about coming into work today. It's like, oh boy, I don't want thunder to be called off again. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Yeah, the tornado drills are coming up next week. So next Wednesday, they might be a tiny bit later. They're pretty close to where they should be. At least Kentucky is. Kentucky's is supposed to be Wednesday. Now, if we've got rain on Wednesday, they may postpone it. They may postpone the tornado drill because they don't want people that aren't as in the know as you guys to panic. When they look outside, they see rain and clouds and they hear the tornado sirens go off. So they may hold off on that. We'll see. We haven't had official word on that yet. But for now, the tornado drill for Kentucky is Wednesday of next week. Indiana's is sometime the following week, the second week of March, like the 10th, maybe 10th or 11th. I can't remember off the top of my head. But those are coming. They are on the way soon. All right, guys, that's all I got. I got to get ready for our midday newscast coming up here at 11. So can't stay too much longer. Any last minute comments, questions, thoughts, concerns, complaints before we go? Let me know. Don't complain about the forecast. I can't control that. But yeah, today looks great. Enjoy it. Get outside tomorrow too. And then it's on as we head into the first couple of weeks of March. Yeah, Shonda, we were talking about Indiana's tornado drill. That's sometime the second week of March. It's either the 10th or 11th. I can't remember exactly which day, but it's one of those two, I believe. And you also see, by the way, at the end of the 10-day now, the time change is upon us. That is my worst weekend of the year because of my nap is cut short by an hour. But that's okay. It is what it is. All right, guys. That's all I got. Appreciate you stopping by. I'll be on midday at 11 and on Wave News at 3 this afternoon. And I'll be here all weekend, too. We'll have our usual chats tomorrow night and Sunday night, like we always do. All right, that's it for now, guys. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the TV in about 30 minutes. Bye.